I'm a UK.
What is good? This is ARAH of NYTypical or Aura of Night from NYTypical.net. Basically, what we're gonna do is talk about Men's Fashion Week and all the things that kind of went on during Men's Fashion Week, as well as what we have in store for just even men's fashion in general. And yeah, like, it's going to be a fun conversation because, you know, there's a lot of people that say Men's Fashion Week shouldn't even exist. You should mix the men in with the women and every time I heard, I'm like, you just don't even get the conceptual, like, yeah. You might want to introduce yourselves.
You want to go first?
Alright, my name's Aya. I run a YouTube channel called The Fashion Archive.
My name's Jason. I'm from Pre to Drop.
Yes, a fashion journalist and a fashion stylist. But yes, all right. Where do you man want to start, fam?
So, do you want to go through it alphabetically with these shows?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go with, is it Com first? Is that alphabetically?
Ann.
Ann.
Hey,
maybe it's Ann. Maybe it's Ann. All right. Yes. So Sebastian Meunier, done a show for Andy. I didn't even know he was like that. Like, I didn't even look up who, like, when. Yeah, I didn't even know he was a creative director until like halfway through the show. I was like,
who's that?
I was like, like
in 2013.
Yeah.
After Andy herself left, but yeah, he's sick. He's done really good work. He is.
So yeah, like, I've got all of my notes there for it, like, cause the show reminded me of like a Midsummer Night's Dream. Like, that's the first thing that, like, with the flowers and the music and all of that stuff. So like, just like, cause it had an orchestra, was it, or like not even an orchestra, but just like old school ballet music.
Yeah. The show was actually based off of, it's a ballet called
Nijinsky, isn't it?
Yeah, The Afternoon of the Faun or something like that.
Okay.
Nijinsky,
yeah. So it sort of makes sense that it's got that those almost folky sort of folklore notes throughout the pieces. Yeah. Like where you notice on some of the bits where there was like the sort of, what do you call them? The flowers, the lapels, the flora, this is the hard. Fauna. Yeah, the flora and the fauna, like embroidered on the pieces. Yeah. Some of the accessories, the brooches. Yeah, the brooches.
All of the brooches are quite hard, to be honest with you. Like, just in my mind, I remember. Are those leaves brooches?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were.
Okay.
They might have been.
That's wavy then, like, cause you had them on the pieces, because there's like a lot of people, cause at the beginning of the show, this happened with like Andy and Rick Owens and maybe Undercover / Comme des Garçons, but like the beginning bits up until like 3 or 4 minutes, I was like, like, you know what I mean? But then like it went on, and like in Rick they showed like more wearable pieces, like less conceptual, was like more wearable, like with the suits and all of that, like that leather suit, and like Andy, they done that as well with like the just the long coat and all of that, and like and Com, they kind of did that as well with like the suits and everything. But like when they started getting into the wearable stuff, like when I think about what men will wear, or when like, because obviously you have like 2016 when like there's just a bunch of randomers coming into fashion and all of that stuff, like they were in fashion, or they came into fashion because like they saw wearable pieces on the runway, like everyone can relate to a t-shirt in it, and everyone can relate to a hoodie, so like all of that stuff being on the runway made it more accessible. And then like So when I think about that, like just like the contextuality of all of like people being in fashion, I think about, okay, so when will the incoming consumer be engaged? So yeah, like around 4 minutes on each video was about like this one in particular was like 4:20. Yeah. Like literally I was looking at the time and it was like at 4 minutes 20, that's when like everything became like super wearable.
Yeah.
And like you can break the pieces apart, like, and like just conceptually to me that's like what menswear is about, like how you're able to like just look at a piece and be like, yeah, I could wear that. Like if you're like really wanting to be more intrigued and engaged into fashion, then like yeah, you'll be like, okay, I can wear at least that. Like let's say you show one of your boys or all of that stuff, and then like you just skip to 4:20, then you look at the piece and then it's like, you know, someone's gonna find something they can wear in it. Like that's what, like personally, when I think of like just mandem in general, like they're not like us 100%. Whereas like we've had years like looking at Andy, looking at archives, all of that stuff. So I just think to myself, all right, so what would help someone be more engaged? And it's all of those wearable pieces. Like yeah, like that's what I got for it. What did you guys get?
Okay, cool. For me, I felt like this was a very back to basics and season. It's got a lot of the classical stuff. There's the lace, there's the leather, there's the shearling, you've got your ankle high boots. It's so good for me seeing those returning. No. To see those returning actually in men's sizing as well. Yeah. Because I think a lot of the time with men's boots and men's footwear, people are afraid to cross that threshold of going up to knee high, going up to above the ankle with your boots. Men don't wear that. Exactly. For me, one of the bits that I love about Ann is it allows for room for expression, allows for room for androgyny, for you to style it how you want to. You can still look semi-masculine if you want wearing Ann, but you can also take those feminine roots, feminine motifs and everything and incorporate it into your outfits. It's got that sort of... I absolutely loved the use of velvet in this show.
Same.
Honestly,
no, look, literally, like with me personally, like texture is a massive thing. Like, like last year around this time, I started thinking about that a lot. Like, with Adam and Eve, and like back when Ian Connor was still active, like, and well, he's active now still again, but like what, like, cause he was the one, like him and like the other white guy that does YouTube as well. I forgot his name, but Ian Connor's like graphics designer. I forgot his name. I'm like, but he like made me think about more getting into fashion, like in those early times as well. Not fashion, making videos about fashion. But yeah, like when it comes to texture, like you think about leather, like you think about how they mix leather with fur and like, and like that's what happened with this season as well. Like there was a lot of fur. Like I think it's because everyone knows that everything is synthetic now, that everyone's got back to fur, and like they're using more textures now, where it's like, like with like I said, with the article that I wrote like last year, it was about textures. So what's gonna get met, like especially with trainers as well, it's like, it's not just like an all leather Air Force One, like that's too basic. Like obviously with women's wear, it can be that simple and minimalistic, but with menswear, it's like men want to feel things, men want to touch things, men want to be able to hold things and like designate feelings and sensations when they're looking at an item to say this can be worth more because da-da-da-da-da.
It's the way men shop as well, because women just buy loads of pieces, whereas men, you buy one jacket and we're like trying to wear that jacket for a couple of years. So that's just literally, the way,
bro. Literally, a man will buy a pair of shoes. The next day they're wearing them. Like you see them a year later, they're still wearing those shoes. They're looking beat as fuck, but they've been worn every day. They've been worn every day, especially when people are just getting into fashion. It's like it adds character. Like even when like you're long term, and when we're talking about sustainability and that, it's like, like you know when they come up with words, but like you've always been doing it. Like it's like, of course you're gonna have a piece for a long time because you bought the piece because you enjoyed it. And it's good, like. And like with the last video I said, it's like the artist interpretation. You buy the piece and it's like you have them with you, and then you get to wear them, and then like
your character comes into the clothes and all of that stuff, and like you have a piece with the artist in over a period of time, as well as like when like you're listening to music, is like you're just listening to an artist's interpretation of a theme, and it's like, and then you come to the artist and it's like and it's like a bit weird, but like when you come to Andy wearing Andy, she understands, and then like she sees that you've been wearing it for some time, or even like Sebastian, whoever you meet, but they see that you've been wearing it for a long time, or you've had this piece and you know exactly what show it's from, because that's the main thing I see about archive. It's like they know exactly what look, like when it was made, what the reference was for that piece and everything. But yeah, like you have all of that stuff, and it just makes sense to me.
Absolutely, man. Like what I rate is honestly a lot of people mindlessly consume. They don't think about the pieces and how it's going to integrate into their wardrobe, what lifespan it will have in their wardrobe before they cop it. For me, I feel like if I'm buying a piece, it's going to be very rare for me to actually sell that piece, because I bought it because I see myself wearing it 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, etc. I want to get wear out of the piece. Like, something that I subscribe to is the whole wabi-sabi sort of vibe. I think clothes look better beat. That you'll see man that'll buy like what 800 quid pair of shoes, like whites or whatever, and they'll treat it like it's a fucking trophy. They'll barely wear it. It's a fucking pair of shoes at the end of the day, you know. Like for me,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm on the in between, but yeah,
for me, I don't have any qualms about wearing. It's clothes at the end of the day. Expensive clothes, or like expensive pieces that I've invested my money on. I want to get the wear out of them. I want to treat them like clothes, you know. They may be seen as pieces of art by other people.
But they are. Saying they're not art pieces of art is like saying
it's wearable art. It's wearable art.
It's like saying the person that made them isn't an artist. Like that annoys me so much. Like when people are like, designers aren't artists, or like fashion is an artist. Like someone took a whole concept and then.
But people that say that are from the mindset of just seeing fashion as function and nothing else. And that's what happens when you only shop in H&M, because the type of people that only shop in H&M and only look at clothes made by H&M are only thinking of, okay, I'm wearing a hoodie to keep warm. They're not thinking of the artistic side. They're not thinking of inspirations. They're not thinking of any of that stuff. But also, going back
back when I was a H&M shopper, fam, I was thinking about all of that as well, though. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like one of those natural things when you like have art, or like when you're like, well, with me, like when I was in college and obviously getting into art, and then knowing like the fashion girls and all of that stuff, and the interior design guys, or like the VFX guys and the theater people, it's like you start to see every single thing as art.
You were already an artistic person at that point.
Exactly. Like, and it didn't make sense to not like literally when I was 17, I was in stores feeling the clothes. Obviously this is H&M, so it's like, now looking back, it's like, of course it's not gonna feel good, bruv. It's H&M. But you know what I mean? Like, at least like having that indication. Like, my mum did that at first, but I didn't understand it till I was in college. So like my mum taught me that, like, and like smelling the leather when you're gonna buy it as well. Like all of those type of things, like I inherited from my mum, but understood when I was like in college and starting like getting to art. But yeah, it's like you gotta know what the piece is referencing, or even what the fast fashion is referencing. Like if you're gonna buy fast fashion, know who they're referencing. Like know that this is Thierry Mugler, but obviously because Kim K was exactly
and made more commercial.
Because at the end of the day, like even though it's like there's a bit of a, you know, it's a bit sly and like cheeky, it's like there's still a reference behind it. And there's a real understanding of that. So like, I don't get angry when people buy fast fashion, but I do like, if you don't get your wear out of it, and you don't know where it comes from, two, it's like, you're like just a mindless consumer. Because like in my personal opinion, but but like with the Ann D show, like back to it, it's like I call it the days and the gays. Like well, this, like, you know, when it's like queer androgynous, like the days, like whether because obviously there's a lot of people that don't want to be he, she. It's like theys, in it, and like the gays. So that's like the queer community.
Correct.
Yeah. But yeah, the days and the gays and like, you know, just that whole queer stuff. It's like and those slender pieces and everything. Like when you get into those feminine pieces and like breaking them down and like putting them into like masculine shapes. Like it's even like having skinny jeans. It's like, yeah, it's feminine, but you can still pair it with something that can be completely masculine as well. Or even having a long t-shirt is like just a couple inches shorter than a dress. Yeah. But but you can still like pair it with something that makes it super masculine. Or like, and you can do that and you can have that interchangeability with it.
Even fabric choices, man. Like how often
we'll talk about the velvet.
See sheer? How often do you see guys wearing sheer fabrics? Sheer fabrics are fucking great. Honestly, you can make some very, very cool fits, very cool layering with sheer fabrics, in my opinion. And it's not something you see enough of in menswear. It's something that Ann does bring to menswear. Yeah. Both she and Sebastian.
Yeah.
Aren't afraid.
That was really weird for me. I can't lie to you. Like when finding out about like because that was the first time like I looked up the menswear as well. Like because with Andy it's like you know when like you watch the anti-fashion documentary innit? And like when she's like Ann Demeulemeester will always be Ann Demeulemeester. So I'm like everything she does, I'm looking at it. I'm like I don't care. That's my idol, icon, all of that stuff. But like. Yeah, like just found out that the menswear department is him. It's like, okay, she's getting up in the years a little bit, so she needed someone to back it, basically. But he does reference quite well. But in my opinion, it was like a little bit more subdued. It wasn't like full, and it was like definitely you can tell that was a reference. Like, cause that's when the show first started. I was like, this doesn't feel like all the way like I'm going in. And then, like, obviously, when you get later on into the show and then you get more wearable pieces, you're like, okay, this is menswear. They understand what menswear is doing and stuff, so they're connected. But then I understood it was Sebastian that was doing it, and it was like, and then everything just clicked, and it was okay.
That's what Sebastian does, though, because that's why Andy actually picked him in the first place.
Yeah.
Because if you think of his last collection, it was based on, like, the Antwerp docks and him living in Antwerp. Ann Demeulemeester herself has had a collection in the past inspired by her time.
Okay.
So basically it's just Andy has made a collection inspired by her time, Antwerp docks, living in Antwerp, what she felt it was. Sebastian Meunier has referenced that, but seen it in his own eyes. So they've lived a similar life to the point where he can reference in a way that's true to himself. So
it's
even
beautiful.
In this collection, beautiful. He's using materials that are normally Ann. Also, his color palette is very, very like romantic, mellow compared to Andy. Yeah, Andy was more like black, grey, harsh, white, harsh. He's like red, purple, pink. So he's like, they call him the like romantic side of Andy. Yeah, okay. Andy's more like grunge. Sebastian
like that's what I was thinking. I was like, this doesn't have the, you know what I mean? Like this doesn't have the Berlin Wall crashed. We're like all of this. We're getting into it. We're like ripping up our clothes and we don't care if everything like, and we're gonna party. We don't care. All like it doesn't have that. Like you know that essence, that like vibrance. Like obviously Vivienne Westwood does it a bit different, but like when Andy did it, it was like like you know you felt that connection when it was like when you understood that reference of like just them being not understanding what things are and like just, you know, we don't care about Versace and all of that stuff. We are us regardless. And like thrifting and like just getting beaten clothes and but I feel that. I feel like the more like it was definitely more romantic. It was definitely more mellow. Like the sheer like, but mixing the sheer with the velvet, with the fur, with the leather, all of that. It was like that is menswear, in my opinion. That's what menswear is. Being able to mix textures together, different shapes and sizes, and like being able to make them all be cohesive enough to put together.
Did you see those pony hair boots? Did you see the pony hair boot? Oh, bro.
I don't remember.
And they were quite high as well.
I know. I think, do you actually see any retailers having picked those up from the showroom to sell? Because the price point on those is
DSM. If DSM stopped Andy, they would.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, think of everyone I know that stocks DSM. So we've got Selfridges, no way.
Yeah.
Allotment, maybe, but I doubt it.
Ukes, no.
Ukes, no. You've got Layers, mate.
Lab
Layers,
store.
London.
Lab store. Lab
Do they
store
stock
London,
Andy
mate.
or no?
Yeah,
I
they
think-
do. They do.
Yeah, Layers, maybe Lab Store. They're going to stock stuff like that, I feel like. But not too many buyers.
Nah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because the price point is going to be so high on those as well. That's one of the reasons why I think they're going to end up probably going into the category of, if you want these pieces, you're going to end up having to go to sample sales and pop them from there.
And go to
essentially.
Antwerp, like the Antwerp sample sales they normally
Essentially.
Yeah. No, but Andy's footwear, every season, Andy footwear is just like, every year they just do something crazy with the boots.
Literally, no. Like, I think Ann is without fail one of the houses that I always look forward to seeing how they interpret things, seeing how Sebastian references prior material. Exactly. And one thing that I do love about him is that he does bring this, as you said, he does bring this nice color palette to the house. He brings a lot of the white, and then he mixes it in with the blush pink like the
reds, like that last season, that red shirt he had.
Bro.
Okay, man.
Take care, guys.
Yes, this has been AH of NYTypical.net, Aura of 9. Christopher's bodyguard. McQueen's views on the definite anti. And you guys have been pre the drop and the fashion archive, but you know, you can say that as well, you know. Do you guys have like an exit? No? Yeah?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, my exit's usually like, hey, have a lovely day.
Yeah, peace, blessings, and all love to you guys. This has been amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care and have a lovely night.
The caps decayed. Yeah, it was cool.
Talking of 3D printed pieces, yo, you know on the Ann show, those trousers that no, back one last note on Ann.
Man found a way to get back to Ann.
One last note.
That's what it gets like what gets me about like Kim Jones's Dior's, like everything can be wearable. You can at least pick one piece from every single look and be like, I could possibly wear that. Like, not saying that you'll buy it or like you fully want it and it's like engaging you, but you'll be like, I can think of a style to fit that and all of that, and like on every single piece. But same way, there's a color scheme that's flowing. There's an experimental scene that's flowing.
The color palette was really nice, bro. I heard. Yo, I'm atting someone. I'm calling them out. Joel, you know from Galax?
Yeah.
In his thing, he was like 10 brands that need to die in the new year.
Can we talk about this?
He said
what?
A cold brew. He said a cold brew is dead, and that Samuel Ross does not have a pulse.
Yeah. Well,
I cannot disagree more.
I have to talk about this. Fashion is your full-time job. So your job is just to know what's going on in fashion, and you don't even know what's going on.
Bro.
Everything Galax wears is what is popular in the mainstream. I've never seen him go against the grain once.
Yeah.
And just buy something he likes.
Like, I want to ask whether you think Menswear Fashion Week is going to get the respect it deserves.
I think, honestly, women's wear, a lot of, as you said, a lot of women are finding more pleasure in men's fashion week than women's fashion week. And that's because women's wear has already gone through that zeitgeist, that evolution. They've seen that evolution. They've seen that experimentation.
80 years
There's
of
been
that.
a long history with women's wear and the changes that have happened over that era. Menswear, lot of menswear has...
I've got an article coming.
It has, or it had gotten stale. And that's where we're seeing all this experimental vibes. People are being more open to wearing things that would be traditionally perceived as women's wear. They're become a lot of man them are becoming more secure in their masculinity. And realizing, oh, bro, just because I wear these clothes doesn't mean I identify as X way or Y way, you know. So I think with the fact that more people are actually becoming interested in men's fashion week, it will result in more people being vocal that they're interested in it, and hopefully shutting people up about